Hello, my name is Suzanne Lawson and this practice is yoga for back pain. This practice is designed to really help you to connect with your core and all of the muscles in your back and your ribs to help relieve that pain. You might want a couple of blocks for this practice, although it's not that necessary. So first of all, what I'd like you to do is get into a cross-legged position with your palms on your knees, and we'll just really start to focus on landing on the mat, getting into our space, really lengthening the spine, pressing the sit bones down into the mat, maybe close the eyes. Just start to connect with your breath as you inhale and exhale through the nose. Maybe put your hand on your belly, or your chest, or your ribs, and just notice how that feels. As you really start to focus on sending your breath to your belly, breathing in and breathing out. We sit at a lot of computer desks or the car quite often where we're hunched over. So this class will really help you to lengthen the spine. So take a nice big deep breath in through the nose and an exhale through the nose. Really starting to focus on slowing that breath down as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out. Noticing how that feels. Really connecting with your body, your heart, your lungs and your belly. So now with our hands on our knees, we're going to come into some Kundalini circles. So take it over to the right and then come all the way around and back to the midline. So just keep going like this. Really press into your hands and use the bend of your elbows here to really press in to the shoulder blades. Now try and slow it down. Try and go slower than you want to, so that you're really starting to feel where there's any niggles or tension in the side of the body, in the back of the ribs. You might start to actually hear them creak and moan and groan. Closing the eyes maybe, letting the head now relax into it, using that weight of the head. And then come back to center and we'll do the other side, coming over to the left and then the right. Moving with breath, slowly and mindfully, as you move through, using those elbows and the shoulders and the weight of the head to really get into the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, pressing down into the hands, breathing in and breathing out. And then come back to center and we'll come into tabletop now. So set yourself up, your knees under your hips, your wrists under your elbows, elbows under your shoulders. And let's come into cat. So really, really, really bow the back of the body. Drawing the tailbone in, drawing the belly in, really elongating the back. And then drawing yourself all the way through, let's come into cow. Pressing the palms into the mat, really pushing down in the tops of the feet. Gaze up. Don't forget to breathe. Really pushing into that tension in the back. And then exhale, round the spine, coming back into cat. Inhale, coming through, look up for cow. And exhale, come back and round for cat. Just keep going with your inhale and your exhale, your cat and your cow. Moving with breath, moving with intention, allowing the muscles in the rib cage to release. Then remain in cat and try and see if you can lift the tops of your feet off the mat and really press into your fingertips now. Pressing into the knees, pressing into the palms, really feeling the back muscles rippling away, melting away any tension. Lift those feet any further. If you can, lift them higher and release. Well done. Tuck the toes and press yourself into downward facing dog. So take a moment, bend in the knees, walk in the dog, pressing the hands into the mat, making your V-shaped position here as you really start to focus your breath, elongating that spine and allowing the head to be heavy. Pressing the fingers into the mat and breathe. Lifting the hips up, drawing those heels back down towards the mat. Don't worry if you can't get your legs straight. Practice. We'll allow that, and sometimes it's just nice to really focus on the length of your back. On your next inhale, look forward and bring yourself to the top of your mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Just really let the head be heavy here. Making fists, draw your fists into each of your elbows, your elbow creases, to really help to just relax the tension in the back here. In this ragdoll pose, allowing the weight of the head to connect with your back. Remember to draw those tummy muscles in, drawing the core in. Now I want you to rock from side to side now. So try and get some momentum here, a bit like a pendulum swinging from side to side. Just go slow. And then see if you can start to bring your arms in parallel to your yoga mat. So you're still bent over, you're still forward fold, but as you come to the side, you're drawing up and back. Notice how that feels on your side body, on your hips. Come back to center and release the hands. And take your hands behind your back, clench your fists. And just really start to draw those palms away and up from you. Keep a slight bent in the knees, allowing the head to release. drawing the palms away from you. Breathe. And release the arms back down. Well done. You should feel a nice stretch in that shoulder joint now. And then slowly, bone by bone, just draw yourself all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. And come into mountain pose. Taking the arms all the way up, look up on your inhale. Breathe. As you breathe, really looking up towards your palms, palms together in prayer. Focus on your breath, pressing your feet into the mat beneath you, drawing your tailbone in, drawing your kneecaps up, drawing your rib cage in. And then take a slight bend to the right, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep going here and come back to center. Well done. Take a breather, nod your head and come over to the left. As you breathe in, really pressing those palms together, drawing them away from you, finding that stretch in the right side body, pressing the feet into the mat equally as you breathe, elongating the spine. Drawing the shoulders back. You're nearly there. Breathing in and breathing out back to center. Breathing in, look up and exhale. Bring your hands to the back of your lower back. Fingers pointing towards the ground. And then I just want you to, we're just going to do a little bit of a back bend here. As we're standing, I just want you to really draw those elbows in towards one another as you look up to the ceiling. So really start to feel that stretch in the neck and release. Bring your arms up. Breathing here. Take a moment and then bend the knees, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Take a breath and breathe. Allowing the breath to move over the back. Take your gaze to your right and your left. And your right and your left. Notice any tension or clicking in the neck. And then take your feet wider than your yoga mat or with your heels just on the edge. And then I want you to take a hold of your right ankle with both hands at first. Just get yourself settled. And you're taking your right arm away from you as you start to gently twist. Taking your left palm to the ground now. Really root that left palm in as you start to twist. And then we'll do the other side. Take your right arm to your ankle and your left arm up. Take your right hand into the ground, pressing it up, drawing that left arm back, sinking the hips down so the hips are level, and release. Well done. Bringing some relaxation into the hips. And then step it back, down dog. Just walk out the dog, release the back, release the shoulders. And then drop your knees to the mat and just come all the way down to a seated position. So we're going to come into boat pose or boat pose variation. So just remove the flesh away from your bum, bend your knees, plant your feet down and take your palms behind your knees so they're just above your thighs. Point the feet and really start to lengthen the spine. So you don't want to be hunched up. If you're looking at the video, I've just hunched to show you what you don't want to be doing. You want to be drawing those shoulder blades back and away from you. Gaze is straight ahead so that you've got a nice length in the neck. Drawing those feet away from you and pull that core in. If it feels good, release the arms and then just release the legs down and we'll come into a counter pose. So bring your hands down behind you, fingers facing forward, and then just lift your hips all the way up. So you're doing kind of a reverse tabletop. If it feels good for the neck, you can start to see if you feel you want to stretch that head back and release back down. It's going to come back into boat pose now. So drawing those legs up, core in, belly tight, elongate the spine, gaze forward, point the feet, breathe, release the hands if it feels good. You've got this. If you're starting to wobble, then you're doing it right. You're bringing that fire into the belly. And one more breath. And then release down. And we'll come back into that counter pose again. Feet down, palms down, fingers pointing towards your feet. Really press into the mat, lifting the hips, drawing the shoulder blades in, and then extending the head back if that feels good for the neck. Breathing in and breathing out and release. Well done. So now I want you to just come back up into the posture that we were doing for boat pose, but we're just going to come all the way down, bone by bone, onto our back. So we want to come into some twists now. So just extend the legs away from you for a moment and just have a little rest. Then bend both knees, plant the feet down and draw your knees into your chest. And then what I want you to do is I want you to really press your thighs with your hands and your thighs into your hands. Switch the core on, press the feet away from you in flexion. And just using that method of pressing the palms into the thighs to switch the core on, and then extend the legs away from you, point the toes, hover the legs, arms come above your head, and back to center, pressing into the thighs, feet are flexed, drawing that core in, switch that core on. Really focus on your breath and then release your legs away from you. Point the toes, arms above the head. Don't forget to breathe and draw them back in. Well done. Plant the feet down on the mat. Ease out any tension, drawing the hips and the knees back in. And then taking your palms around your knees, just start to do some circles one way and the other. And then we'll just take a moment here. So I want you to take your left palm behind your head and your right palm down. Extend your left leg away, keeping your right leg bent and towards you. And then you're going to come up off the mat with your torso, and you're going to bring your left shoulder blade towards your right knee. Try and keep the elbow back in space as you're drawing the shoulder, not the elbow. And release back down. Inhale, come back up. Left shoulder to right knee. And back down. Release the right leg and switch sides. Right hand behind your neck, left knee in bent. Coming over to the left, so right shoulder to left knee. Breathe, using your left hand to just balance you out. And come back. Inhale, right shoulder to left knee. Breathe. And exhale back down. Well done. Release that left leg away from you. And we'll come into Shavasana. So set yourself up for your Shavasana. It's only for a few moments. So start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring yourself back into the room, back into your space. And then bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, and then rock yourself up to seat and come into a cross-legged position. Bring your palms to prayer, thumbs into your heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. I do hope that you find some relief in your back pain soon.